Welcome to County Connection. I'm Leilani Yan. We are speaking today with members of Palm Beach County's Victim Services, here to share with you all the resources available as well as their stories. We are here now speaking with Ellen Craddock Day and Terrace Ellick of Palm Beach County Victim Services Management Team. Ellen and Terrace, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
I'd like to start off with you, Ellen. What would you like our audience to know about Victim Services?
Mostly that it's a Palm Beach County government agency that is available to residents of Palm Beach County at no cost. We've been in existence for 40 years, with this year being our anniversary. And in 2007, we became a Certified Rape Crisis Center. So basically, we're a Palm Beach County Victim Services and Certified Rape Crisis Center. We are a 24/7 organization, so there's always someone on call. We have 5 office locations. Our main office is downtown at the courthouse here in West Palm Beach. We have an office in our Delray Beach courthouse, our South County office. Our West County office is in Belle Glade in their governmental center office. And we have 2 locations in our North County office. One is in the North County Courthouse in Palm Beach Gardens, and we have an office on Australian Avenue, which is our SART office.
And what is SART? SART
stands for Sexual Assault Response Team. And most of the advocates that are housed there are basically deal with our sexual assault clients. We have advocates in all the offices, and we deal with crime victims, hence the name Victim Services. Our crime types that we deal with is crimes against persons, which is domestic violence, sexual assault. We work with survivors of homicide and DUI fatalities and other violent crimes. So those are the crime types that we deal with.
Tell us a little about victim advocates. What is their role?
Victim advocates are an integral part to helping victims of crime. They not only adhere to our Florida statute 960 for victims' rights, making sure that their rights are upheld in all phases of a case. They are on the scene from the onset of the crime all the way through the criminal case. They advocate for a victim. They assist them with things they may need for perhaps medical bills. We assist with filing for injunctions for protection, which are in many different areas: domestic violence, dating violence, stalking, sexual assault, and repeat violence are the various injunctions that we deal with. They give individual supportive counseling. They do court accompaniment and crisis field response, hence our 24/7 schedule.
Fantastic, thank you.
You're welcome.
Terrace, could you tell me about the Glades area and the uniqueness of the area that you supervise?
The Glades area is unique simply because we are the only agency, Victim Services, in the Glades community, Tri-City area, that provides these type of services with sexual assault, general crime, domestic violence, accident fatalities. We are the only agency that serve victims of all crime types in my area.
Are the staff who work there bilingual? Are they able to deal with a diverse group of people?
We have access to the bilingual staff, but now, I have to sell for my advocates that I have, these English speakers, but we do have access to our Spanish speakers, Spanish-speaking advocates and the other officers. They do assist.
And what is the background of a victim advocate?
Bachelor's degree, some have masters, in social work, sociology, criminal justice, and most advocates, I believe, have a background of working with the Department of Children and Families, or some type of social work. So when they come in with that compassion to work with people of all crime types, all nationalities, whatever they face with, they're able to deal with it.
If a person was to come to the Glades area office, what would they expect?
First of all, you're going to meet my secretary, you're going to get a smile, you're going to come in, whatever your problem is, you're going to come in feel like you're going to be helped. Somebody is there for you.
Terrace, in what ways do you connect with and reach out to the populations in the Glades?
Well, we work collaboratively with all the other agencies in the Glades. We try to educate the public. We have outreach events, speaking engagements. We do training, staff training with other agencies. We go around to the different centers, the different migrant area offices, where we make ourselves available.
Ellen, in particular, with a victim advocate, what type of detailed work are they performing depending on the situation that's brought before them?
Good question. Most of the time, our cases are, we have actually people that walk into our offices, and the offices are busy. They're that, or we are called out on crisis-filled responses. But when they walk into our office, most of the time they're in need of injunctions for protection. That said, the biggest area is domestic violence.
Yeah.
It is extremely busy. It is a field that all of our offices and the agencies that we collaborate with are working every day to try and make a difference. And our advocates assist clients in filling out their injunctions for protection in the domestic violence area. Also, dating violence with teenagers is becoming much more prevalent. We have cyber stalking and stalking. We also have an injunction for protection for that. We have an injunction for protection for sexual violence, which basically only our office can do because we're the Certified Rape Crisis Center. And our repeat violence is for other types of crime when a person is not related to someone. So that said, we are extremely busy, and it's an important tool to keep people safe. One of the most important things that we do is make sure a victim is safe when they walk in and when they walk out of our office. And what we do in between is also very comprehensive, but we want to make sure that their safety is number one for them. We also can provide assistance when there's injuries in all the various crime types. We assist people with filing for victim compensation, which is through our Attorney General's office. And again, we collaborate with many different agencies all through the years, all the various law enforcement agencies, legal aid, Silo, and all the other wonderful agencies that have anything to do with crime victims in this county.
Thank you both for joining us in this segment and enlightening us on the collaborative services that you're providing.
Well, thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Yes.
And when we come back, we'll go more deeply into some of the services provided, including the Butterfly House. Stay with us.
No.
I want it. I want it. No!
No! Come on, you can come out.
You know you want to come.
No, she won't. No. Come on, everyone's gonna be there.
It'll be fun.
Come on. No!
You know you want to.
I'm not ready.
Why not?
Because.
I love you. Come on.
Stop, I said no. Order. Order in the court.
And what did you say to him?
I said no. Quiet, please.
When did no turn to yes?
I should have listened. She said no.
No means no. You are not alone. For help, call the 24-hour hotline at 561-833-7273.
Welcome back. We are speaking now with Holly DiBenedetto and Carol Messam-Gordon of Palm Beach County's Victim Services. Holly, Carol, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having us. Thank you. Appreciate you having us here.
I'd like to start with you, Holly. Can you tell us what services do you offer to surviving family members when there's a homicide or a DUI?
Yes, we offer death notifications. So if someone is murdered in our county and law enforcement contacts us, either through our hotline or directly through an office, an advocate will respond with law enforcement to meet with the surviving family members to provide that death notification, to provide crisis intervention with them and supportive counseling at that time that they're finding out that their loved one has been murdered. When once that crisis part is over, then what we also do is liaison and assist with victim compensation, so that maybe assist with funeral expenses and any other assistance, financial assistance they may need related to that family member no longer being with them. We also offer therapy for those surviving family members. We also provide court accompaniment if an arrest is made. We follow those family members from the time of the death through trial and the appeal process if necessary.
Can you tell us in a little more detail about the types of therapy services that are being provided?
Yes, I sure can. We provide trauma-informed therapy, which means it deals directly with violent crime, and that is unique within our agency. We have 4 licensed therapists on staff. They are located in all the offices throughout the county. We also have registered therapy interns that also assist with therapy. Our therapy really is focused on how the crime has affected the victim and the family members, and the goal is to get the victim back functioning so that they can be productive and that they can put that crime in their place. They're never over what that trauma that has happened to them, but it's really to give them coping skills and tools that they need to be able to go back to their normal daily lives after this trauma has occurred.
Well, that's an immense, valuable asset.
Yes, it sure is. And it is free to residents of Palm Beach County.
Amazing.
So,
Thank you.
You're welcome. We also have trauma support groups throughout the county, and they are run by licensed therapists. We also have a Spanish-speaking trauma support group, and we also have a homicide support group out in Belglade. If anyone needs additional information about the meeting times, they can call our central office at 355-2418 and hit option 3 and speak to Randy Kogan, who is our therapy coordinator.
Thank you. And Carol, I'd like to talk with you about the Sexual Assault Response Team.
Our Sexual Assault Response Team is a multidisciplinary, comprehensive group that meets to coordinate a comprehensive effort for victims of sexual assault. And this group is so phenomenal that they get together once a month and they promote efforts for victims of sexual assault utilizing the victim-centered approach. Now, the members of our group of SART members, it's comprised of law enforcement, victim advocates from Palm Beach County Victim Services, our administrative staff, our therapists, legislative delegation, Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, and other law enforcement agencies. We also have the medical staff from the various hospitals that's part of our team. So together, we get together once a month, and it's the last Thursday of the month at 2 o'clock at our SART Center, which is located at 4210 North Australian Avenue. We put together ideas when it comes to victims of sexual assault. How can we better service them through the county? And it's so important because within this county, Palm Beach County Victim Services, our SART Center, has won the SART Award for our county. So we are utilized and used as a model for the entire state of Florida. So that is a big thing. So we want to make sure on behalf of victims, we are doing the best, making the best effort to promote whatever is needed to make sure that victim-centered approach is used and is utilized by law enforcement, our victim advocates, our SANE nurses, and all the hospitals within the county. So that victim knows when he or she responds to a hospital that a victim advocate is going to be available to provide services. Law enforcement, they're going to use that victim-centered approach when they are dealing with the victim, and making sure that compassion, respect, that follow-up care is there and available for victims to have, and to let that victim know that someone is there on their side. And the victim advocate at Palm Beach County Victim Services follow the victim from the beginning when the victim reports and the victim does a forensic exam all the way to prosecution and thereafter. So including with the advocate services, the therapist is there available to provide services. So it's just a comprehensive support that is available to victims of sexual assault.
Congratulations on the recognition. That's fantastic. What kind of trends are you seeing with regard to what the SART team is dealing with and what victim services might be dealing with?
Victim services, we are now approaching the campuses and making sure that we have now formed an alliance. We have an MOU signed with Lynn University. We're working on the various campuses throughout our state. So victims of sexual assault knows that there is someone out there available. A comprehensive effort is put forward so that victim knows that while they're on the campus and when they're not on the campus, someone is there available to provide services to them. So together, victims of sexual assault know that there's a team effort in place to provide services to them. At the SART meeting, we talk about the trends that's available, what we're seeing, how many victims are reporting or not reporting, how we can step up services to crime victims. So together, that effort, we look at how many victims have reported sexual assault. We have advertisement that we put out there so victims know the phone numbers to contact, who is going to be available to them, the hotline number to call. So there's always something there available for sexual assault victims to know that we care as a community, and the community is putting the best effort forward. So sexual assault victim and crime victims, services are available to them through the different agencies, whether it's victim services, law enforcement, all the way to prosecution, and even therapy services, to know that at the time that you report and henceforth, a therapist will also be available to provide that support to you. And preparing the victim for trial and thereafter is such an important part of the comprehensive services that is out there in our community available to them.
What other noticeable trend have you observed?
Well, we're finding that at times, and we're trying to combat that, we're finding that we're having a lot of the date rapes. It's coming back and it's becoming a trend. So our staff, they're going out to the different bars and they're giving educational information. We're looking at also doing coasters so victims know that when they're at the bar to think before they drink, and maybe have a buddy system, so when they are not, if they have to go to the bathroom, someone has their drink, utilizing the bartender, educating the bartender that these trends are out there and available, and the services are available to victims. So if they don't want to be featured on television or in the papers, educate the victims, when the young ladies, young men, when they come in to the bars and they're drinking, that, be careful when you leave your drink. So at least the coasters are there. It educates them. We're putting different information, awareness information in the bathrooms. So we are going out there and making sure that we, in some way, as a SART team, that we can help to prevent or at least educate victims or young people when they're out there or older that, hey, think before you drink, make sure you have a buddy system. If you're going out in the evening, have some kind of friend to go home with. So don't separate yourself when you are out there in the community. Be together and always utilize a buddy system on campus or out in the community.
Important to consider all of those.
Absolutely. And I also want to tell you a little bit about our forensic exam site, which is at Butterfly House. And Butterfly House is adjacent to the entrance, the emergency room entrance at Wellington Regional Medical Center. And a victim of sexual assault can go to the Butterfly House with law enforcement, do a forensic exam. It's a safe space. They can take a shower, change their clothing, get some refreshment, and the law enforcement officer can do a tape statement while he or she is there with the victim, and an advocate is there providing support to that victim. So that is important. So, and law enforcement does not have to be involved. If a victim decides, hey, I was sexually assaulted and I want to do a forensic exam, and a victim does not have to report to get services through Palm Beach County Victim Services. So that's important too for them to know.
Thank you both. The dedication is evident in what you do in your offices. We appreciate all that you do.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All in together now, we can make it better. Can we do it? We'll rope it up, cause we know how to jump. We'll cut it down, cause we know what to eat.
Moving a little and eating better every day can help make you and your child healthier. Search We Can to find out more.
Welcome back. We are here with Sharon Doherty, Ashley Foster, and Jeremy Crum of the Survivor Action Team as part of the Sexual Assault Response Team known as SART within Palm Beach County's Victim Services. Welcome to each of you. We're very glad you're here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sharon, could I start with you and just hear about the story that you would like our viewers to know?
Sure. My name is Sharon Doherty. I am the Palm Beach County Victim Services Sexual Assault Outreach Coordinator. I am also a survivor of incest by my biological father. So I wear a few hats, well blended for the agency I work for. As you can see, they have empowered me to start a group called Survivor Action Team. And here are two very awesome people next to me. But also there's a whole team as well that just, there wasn't enough room for, and we are growing, which is part of the reason we're here today. We want to grow this group of empowered, outspoken survivors. So that led me into the field, but what keeps me here are the people that you saw in the previous segments, the people with the passion and dedication to this movement of bringing and ending sexual violence in our lifetime. It's a lofty goal, but why not? Why not shoot for the stars? So my personal story is I grew up in Broward. My father sexually abused me from age 6 till I moved out at 16. Then I eventually did take him to court. He walked on a technicality of statute of limitations back when, it was a while ago. And so statute of limitations were different. And the beauty and synchronicity of the work that I've seen through my lifetime in this field is shown here today when you get to Ashley, because when she tells her story, it relates to mine 30-some years ago that didn't happen. Ashley changed a law that would have affected me had it been in that time period. So it's amazing, and I get chills when Ashley showed up at the group. I'm like, it's awesome. So anyway, I am here to promote Survivor Action Team, available as a survivor too. If anyone wants to call Victim Services, we are here for the survivors and their families and whoever needs that kind of support. A lot of people don't know that being a survivor of all traumas, but we're speaking to sexual assault specifically, it's like a monster that chases you, and if you don't turn around and face that monster, it can create havoc in your life. And you don't even know. It affects you on all levels, from emotional, physical, spiritual, financial, academically, you name it. And people don't really get how deep its claws will have, in you, unless they stop with the help of a group. We're not therapeutic, by the way. We are more action-oriented, but we have therapeutic groups, as Holly mentioned earlier. That's how you can stop and face down that monster, because it's never as big as you think when you turn around and face it. And we're here to help for that.
Thank you. Ashley, can you share with our viewers the most valuable aspects of your story that you would like them to know?
Sure. Well, it started when I was 13. I was molested by my cousin. It went on for years. I was afraid to tell anyone because my parents are very protective, and I didn't want them to get into any type of law trouble. I also have 2 brothers that I felt like I had to protect, and so I just endured it. And then when my mom actually found out, we ended up getting into an agency named Silo. They helped me out and connected me with Victim Services. And so I got counseling through Victim Services, and they were helping me prep me, and I ended up getting a victim's advocate. And when I finally got the strength, the courage to say something and to come out, my victim's advocate came with me to the police to report my abuse, and we went there, we filed for it, and we did it. We got a confession from my cousin, and then the police come back and they're like, nothing can be done because the statute of limitations ran out. You missed it by 60 days. So that made an infraction on me, and then but then in the same way it inspired me and encouraged me to want to change that law, because no survivor or victim should ever go through that. Never feeling like, oh, they did something and then they got shut down. And so I was a part of the process of eliminating the statute of limitations in the state of Florida, and it was made a law last year on April 1st. And now, you know, what I really want to say to, you know, the audience and the survivors out there is that it's time to wake up and see your situation, you know, look at what's going on, and it's time to get up and do something, you know, focus on what's going on and do something, and then speak up and say something about it. Tell anyone, because someone out there will listen, and you do have supporters, you know, that someone is there and they will walk with you. And you know, Victim Services was there. They were my supporters, and so I'm very grateful for Victim Services because they helped me out a lot.
You're an amazing example, you know, of the outcome that Victim Services would like to see, and for yourself. So I appreciate your story.
Thank you.
And Jeremy, can you talk to us a little bit and our viewers about what you find to be valuable and want to share?
Absolutely. So I experienced physical abuse and sexual abuse in my childhood. The sexual abuse happened when I was in 8th grade and my freshman year of high school. And at that time, I was still discovering myself and who I was. And I happened to be gay. And for me, it felt like this was something that I wanted. My body reacted in a way that I didn't realize it was abuse until later on in life. And I think that's a key thing for a lot of male victims, is that they think that their body reacted in a way and that they weren't victims, that they wanted this to happen, or that they deserved this to happen, or that, you know, they just didn't feel like they were victims. And later on, when they're going through issues in their life, they realize that yes, they were victims. And it takes a lot of courage and strength to be able to stand up and say something, and to be able to move from that victim state onto a survivor state where you're no longer in that energy of the victim. For me, it took me down a road of addiction, and it took me down a road of just wanting to heal trauma. And eventually I was able to move through that state. And now when I look at all the services that Victim Services has, you know, I actually wish that I had that knowledge of something like this back when everything was happening to me, because that would have helped me out a lot.
And how would you, you know, characterize your outcome at this point?
I now use my experience that I had to help others move through their trauma and heal their addictions, and that's part of what I do on a daily basis. Not only do I get the opportunity to work side by side with Victim Services, but I also work with another center that's up in Port St. Lucie, the Inner Truth Project up there as well. And it's just fantastic. As a matter of fact, I was connected to Sharon and Victim Services through the Inner Truth Project.
Thank you. And thank you to each of you, because you sort of embody the call to action. And Action Team is very aptly named. We appreciate everything that you've shared with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And most of all, thank you for joining us on this edition of County Connection.